Hey guys, welcome to Ben Wrenching. My name is Ben, and today I'm wrenching on my '05 Honda Odyssey. I'm going to be changing out the sliding door rollers. I've already done the driver's side and it's in good shape, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it on the passenger side. I can confirm that these are literally all the tools that you need because, like I said, I just did it. I've actually already done both of these once and I had to redo them because the first time I tried to upgrade to these ones that have metal rollers. These are garbage, don't get them. Go ahead and get the genuine Honda ones. They're a little bit more expensive, but they work perfectly. I'm going to run through this pretty quick because at this point I'm pretty sick of this project and I'm ready to be done. So let's get after it. All right, you'll want to start by removing the taillight. You may or may not have covers like this over the screws. If you do, you can use a small pick to get under it and pop it out. From there, you've got two screws and these are 8mm, so you'll need an 8mm socket to get those out. Once you get both of those out, you want to pull the light out straight back. You're really just trying to release this clip from the hole that it's in right there, but you just pull this straight back and then it comes off. From there, you can go ahead and disconnect the light harness and then you can take the taillight all the way out and close your trunk. That way you can close your garage and keep it cool while you do the rest of it. You won't need to put this back in until the very end. From there, I'll just need to take this piece off. It's got a 10mm bolt right here. I'm gonna use a drill, but you can use a ratchet too. And with that out, there's just one more screw on the front of this. To get to that screw, I've got to open the door. I've turned the switch inside to off so that I can open this manually. And this is why you don't buy the metal rollers, because this is what it sounds like. And the door will be really difficult to open, so definitely don't get those. But right in here is the last screw that we need to take out to get that piece off. I'm using a long magnetized Phillips screwdriver, so I'll just take that screw out. And for some reason this screw's not magnetic, but I can get it out with a pick. So far I've taken out the two taillight screws, the screw on the back of the plate and the screw on the front of the plate. From there I can close the door a little bit, maybe about halfway. And then I'm going to grab this piece and just slide it forward, and then it comes off the track. I'm going to be careful not to scratch the paint as I pull this out. This has these slots that go over these plastic clips, so they fit over them and then slide back to lock into place. So to get it off, you really just need to slide it forward and then pull out, but it comes off pretty easy. So there is the roller bracket that we're after. There are two 12mm bolts on this side of the door. I'm gonna use my jack to lift the door up just a little bit, and that's just to support the weight of the door. You can use a milk crate or anything that'll fit underneath it just to take the weight off of it as you take these bolts out. And I'm just gonna put light pressure on it, and I'll use a 12mm socket to get these two out. It's a good idea to cover up this section so you don't scratch anything while you're doing this. I've already done it once without that and I didn't scratch anything, but it's probably a good idea to do that. All right, and there's the front bolt. And there's the back bolt. It's a good idea to glove up because there will be grease and dirt all over this thing. But with those bolts out, I can move it back a little bit. I'm gonna push up on it while I do to make sure I don't scratch the paint. I'll tilt it up to get it out of the track, and then I just need to release these two cables. I'll turn this one this way and then it pops out. I can use a pick to get this pin out, and that's what it looks like. It just fits in that slot, and then you turn this to get the cable in here. It's a little easier to show with this one now that it's loose, but this just needs to turn and then slide down. I'll stick this cable in this slot here so I don't lose it, and then I've got that ready to go when I get the new bracket in. It's a good idea to pay attention to how this is put together because I have to take this bracket off. There's a clip on top, and then I pop the pin out the bottom, and then I'm gonna put this bracket on the new roller bracket, put the pin back in and the clip back on. The spring needs to be on the inside so that it pushes out on these two, and the driver and the passenger brackets are flipped. So depending on which one you're doing, you just want to pay attention to how this is put together. But the first thing I'll do is take this C-clip off the top. I can wedge a small screwdriver in there and just pry this out. And then I'll reuse this when I put it back together. I'm going to use a hammer to get this pin out. I'll sandwich it back together, set it on the table, and knock this pin through. And once I've got it through, I can pull it out the other side. From there, I can take this bracket off. It's always a good idea to compare your parts before you install the new one. This is what my original rollers look like. This one is missing both bearings on top, and the other side has some pretty broken bearings, so these weren't really doing much. This side was actually worse than the one that has no bearings. But like I said, you can buy these brackets with the upgraded metal bearings, but I found these to not work at all. It turns out that this bearing is not made to the correct size. So do yourself a favor and get some genuine Honda rollers. I've got the part numbers and I will link these in the description. But like I said, I've already got one of these installed and it works fine. It's got these metal pieces that fit in here, and then that fits through the spring, so you want to make sure the spring is in place. And from there, I'll slide this bracket on, lining up the holes. I'll get the pin back through the bottom. I'll push it through the top until it sticks out a little bit, and then I just need to hammer it home. I just need to have enough space for the notch for the C-clip. From there, I can put the C-clip back in. I'll use some pliers to get that back on. And that's all it takes to reassemble your new bracket. The most difficult part by far is getting both of these cables back in here. First one's not too bad because it's loose, so I always start with the front one. I'll just slide that into place and make sure the cable is facing that way. From there, you can pull this one a little bit, but you also have to rotate it this way. So the best thing I found to do this is to get some needle nose pliers. I'll keep it as close to the track as I can. I'll grab it tight and push as far as I can and then turn it. Get it in that slot and push up. I can adjust it with the pliers. It helps to have the pick handy, that way you can get that into the top slot. Just push it whichever way it needs to go. There we go, I got it into place and the cable is straight now. I can load these rollers into the track, and now this will slide along here. So now I can get these holes lined up on the door, and you can see a mark where the bracket used to be. You want to make sure to line it up exactly like that. That'll avoid issues with the door not closing right. So if you get done with this and your door still doesn't close right, I would readjust that bracket. I'm going to do the best I can to line it up with where it used to be. I'll get both bolts started, and then I'll tighten these down slowly and readjust the bracket until I've got it into place and I can tighten these bolts down. So I'll tighten both of these down and hope that my bracket's lined up good. And now I can go ahead and put this cover back on. I'll feed this cover through here, making sure I don't scratch the paint. I'll line up those plastic brackets with the slots that they go into on this cover. I'll push in on it a bit just to make sure those are all in place, and then I can slide it back. I'll get this 10mm bolt back in here. Once I've got that bolt back in, I can move the door back. And then I can get this screw back in here. And with that tightened down, I can get the taillight back in. I'll reattach the electrical connectors. And then I'll just feed those clips into the slots and push forward. I'll put these two screws back in. You can put these covers back on if you have them. And then just make sure the door closes. And it feels like it's in good shape. So now I can turn the automatic door back on and open the doors and close them and make sure that they close correctly. And there we go, we're all good. And my passenger door even works now, which it didn't used to. So if you've got a warning on your dash that says check either of the doors, I guess changing these rollers out might fix that, because that door has not worked since I bought the van. So this is really all the tools that I used. I used a drill, but you really don't need one. You can use a ratchet. You'll need an 8, 10, and 12mm socket. Magnetic Phillips screwdriver is a plus. You can use a small screwdriver or a pick to get that C-clip out. I used some needle nose pliers to get the cable back into the bracket. I'm sure there's a better way to do that, but that's how I did it. And like I said, I would definitely recommend getting the genuine Honda rollers. I will link these in the description. So with that, I'm happy to report that I'm done with this project. And the good news is that my passenger door works now, which is a surprise, but that's good news. Subscribe for more content on my 05 Honda Odyssey. Thanks for watching as always, and I will catch you guys in the next video.